All right. I had to go online to see it myself because they're like, so it's 7 o'clock, and I wanted to make sure I here before 7 o'clock. Well, let's see, I was here before the time change to 7:01, but I was trying to set my background right now, all my wall and thing. Last night, we get something where that happened. I wasn't able to switch my background. I tell you, something must always happen with this life. Boy. Oh gosh, boy, this thing don't give me a chance. Boy. All right, tell you, it's me and my normal background. Me and my normal background today. Just let me see if I could present my presents. Y'all heard me? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Me and my normal background today, because like the background don't want to load up. Where's that one, boy? Anyhow, news, interesting news. POA. What happened in POA earlier? POA paper one. POA POA is a very interesting exam, and for those of you who are experienced in the CXC exam. All you in chemistry, all you know is a litmus test. Or all you in literature students, litmus test, you understand that idiomatic expression. This is like a litmus test for the exam season. POA is always like the litmus test. We kind of use POA to test out what's going to happen in what's going to happen in the exam. And what did we notice about the POA paper one? Lanisha saying it wasn't that bad, but a lot of new questions. We know Lanisha do she work, we see Lanisha here all the time thing. So the main thing I'm hearing, this person saying pressure for POA, new questions is the main thing I'm hearing. New questions, a bunch of new questions. So new questions. And this time we had a lot. What you would say? Some people say only like about 10 repeats, which is unusual. It's unusual. Just now, we need to talk about this. So we have a bunch of new questions generating here. So we'll be looking at the other paper ones that come up, because this could mean this could have more than 10 repeats. How much y'all would say? So usually in a multiple choice of like maths is between 40 to 55 repeats or so out of 60. So we could say there was more new questions than usual. So this could mean CXC could follow into other new questions in other exams, which would mean you need to study work a little more. Don't just cram off the old paper ones, although you still want to practice all the old paper ones. And the next thing that this could mean is errors. So anytime CXC introducing new questions into their multiple choice question bank, errors is start to pop in. So I think some of the students say they noticed some errors in the paper too. Sorry, in the paper one, the POA paper one. Wait, why I can't talk today, but I have bad sign. So POA paper one, notice some errors in the new questions, like the maths and some of the numbers wrong. Sometimes you might see A and D is the same thing in official CXC exams, or sometimes you might see you're not seeing the correct answer in the A, B, C, D. So that's a little concern. Like back in the days, it used to have a good bit of errors in the multiple choice questions until they kind of fish out all the different errors. In some syllabus and thing back in the days, used to have errors in the multiple choice questions. Like I believe that. Just ask the IT teachers about it. So this is interesting. So we continue to monitor and watch this development. I would be putting updates out on my TikTok. All that is where I post my thing now at my TikTok at Kerwin Springer. So all you can follow there for updates on what's happening. And every day I will try to post a little exam update so you could see what people saying about exams, what they're feeling on exams and thing, right? If you're not on TikTok and you don't want to download TikTok, to download TikTok, you can just use this at the start of every session. We'll talk about what's happening. So before we begin today, We need to, yeah, so it had an error in one of the repeats. Another error in one of the repeats. Yeah. Somebody say shameless plug because I put my TikTok. Now me on TikTok. Yeah, so if you're on TikTok, stay off that. Stay off of that. Excuse me. Some other thing I was gonna say. Yeah, before we start today, today, not today, today. I want you all to know that today is actually a double session. So that means they're going to be low. So go and girl, you take things to drink and eat because we're going to be here a while. We're actually going to do measurement and series and sequences. And if all you still have energy, I will flow one time into at least locking off completing the square two. It depends on all you. It ain't depending on me. It depends on all you. Because to be truthful out here, we're running out of time. I need to get to the big topics. I start kind of late this year. So we need to get to the big topics. And I need to finish before Sunday. Because on Sunday, the student hub is having, that's their paid, I say in day like if it's not me who running the whole student hub. 12-hour crash course. So I can't clash with this. I wouldn't be able to do anything on Sunday, the day before maths exam. I'll be working with the students in the student hub. So that 12-hour crash course runs from like 11 to 11. So if there's anything, I might peep online around late Sunday night to see if anybody up studying and help just answer any questions you'll have. So, well, I could say bye. Yeah, so I need to try and finish by Saturday, and today is already Wednesday. So tomorrow, please God, one more thing, and I'll say this at the end. One more thing we will answer just now. So it have physics today. What do you mean it have physics today? What are you trying to say? Oh, if I'm going to do physics today, I don't know. It depends on how things run. It depends on how things run. I didn't load up any physics, but I plan on doing some tomorrow. Tomorrow, we going and be pulling our midnighters tomorrow. What exam will you have after tomorrow? I don't mean we started midnight, and I mean we're going to reach the midnight. So those of you who like studying with me on the channel, set that aside on your calendar one time. So, and his craziness saying that we staying up till 12. English on Friday, right? And it could definitely be up till 12 because English, where is English, bro? Where is English? You just learn your rules and what not to do and what not to write and that kind of thing. English be on Friday. All your, between me and I never studied for English, and it is. But always not me. Always not me. If you need to study for English, study for English. Do what I had to do. But yeah, so midnight I ain't coming till Tuesday. For Tuesday, we also gonna start late because as y'all know, I play music in church. I play the keyboard, right? And Thursday happened to be the day the musicians and things practice for it. So I will be out there doing my little thing on Thursday from like 6:30, and I might reach back home like around 9. So Thursday, I will set the live to start at about 9:30. Imagine that. Then we're gonna do some maths, and then we're gonna do something else. Something else. Most likely physics. Could be geography too. All right, so today we have a double session, measurement series and sequences completing the square possible. Going to take long. Tomorrow is our late session. We starting late. And then on Friday, I'm doing real magic trick on Friday. We starting 7 p.m. Friday. As a matter of fact, they call Friday the super day. Here what we're going to do. I had a session to do with my AdMaths people and make it open to everybody. Everybody. So we're going to do AdMaths from 5 p.m. Volume 4. Then we get them the maths from 7 p.m. Then from 8 or so, stand by for the exact time, we get them a bio. And then from like 9:10, 9, let's say 9:30, we get them a POB. Like we call Friday the super day. So add maths, I might actually need to start add maths a little earlier, like maybe like 4:30. So I could start maths a little earlier, like 6:30, to make everything fit now, boy. So I could be teaching from 4:30 to 10 for free. But I mean, not for free. You're pressing like it and you're subscribing. You're subscribed, right? You know, YouTube is snitching earlier and tell me that like 70% of the people who watching this actually not subscribe. I'd be watching in horror, like, why do you say can't press subscribe? I mean, you're such a hater. You ain't gonna press subscribe. You ain't gonna give my little subscribe. We're trying to reach a little 200K eventually. You know? Anyhow, so 4:30 at maths, 6:30 maths. Friday, we're gonna be doing a lot of subject. Fridays, we're gonna be doing a lot of subject, right? 8 p.m. So that's the next 3 days or so. Saturday, I can't see that far ahead. Saturday at 12 hour crash course something in the student hub. All right, people. So love and blessings. Let me begin. So the first topic we have for today, Friday, Super Friday. I could probably post that on socials so everybody can be aware of that. This topic is measurement, one of the most underestimated topics in CXC, but probably not underestimated as much. Excuse me, not underestimated as much again, because I always saying, you all know what I say, right? The man who is do measurement for CXC, the man who is give this, that's him there, he have a little bed. The man who's make up this measurement questions in CXC, he love my work. He love his work. Right? And he's come up with real creative questions. Obviously, he's not one man who's make up the questions, but let me do kill the truth. So this was what happened in January. So let's see what happens in January. As I say, man love you work. This man, look what this man doing. Very unnecessary things. Gone are the days of, find the surface area of this cube, find the volume of that cube, and what would happen if you fill the cube halfway? No, 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 no. That's too simple for this guy. He wants more things. So a hemispherical bowl and a cylindrical tin. Let's see what he has in store for us. The diameter of the cylindrical tin is 12 centimeters. The height is 17 centimeters, and the radius of the bowl is R. So something tell me water going and come from this into this or some kind of thing. I know the man vibe now. I know the man vibe. Use pi as 22/7. And pi is just the ratio of the diameter of the circle to the circumference of the circle is a number that we use right. So pi is equal to 22/7. Show the volume of the cylindrical tin is this. Corrective. Oh, I show that question. What does I show that question mean? I show that question means they gave you the answer. So if they give you the answer, why you can't get all the marks? You mean maths beating you so bad they could show you the answer and still get away taking all the marks? Nah, let me go and collect these marks. So measurement will always be, in measurement, we'll always have to use some formula. So it's to determine the formula and use some critical thinking, right? So we want to get the volume of a cylindrical tin. Fortunately for us, it's given in the formula sheet, but you should know the volume of a cylinder. The volume of a cylinder is equal to the area of the cylinder, and you have to think like it's being dragged throughout the length or height of the cylinder. So the area of the circle, did I say cylinder? The area of the circle is pi r squared, and it's being pulled through the height, so you multiply by h. That's how you find the volume of a cylinder. A cylinder is a prism. What is a prism? Not a prison, a prism. 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 What's a prism? Oh, yeah. What's a prism? If they ask you that in the exam, boom, shot. Measurement question part A1. What is a prism? Which is highly possible something like that could throw up. A prism is a solid with a uniform, like where you wear for school, uniform cross-sectional area. So is this a prism? Is that a prism? What type of prism is this? Is that a prism? Is a cuboid a prism? If I give you a cuboid, is that a prism? Is a cylinder that's lying down a prism? What about a square-based pyramid? Can this come under the classification of a prism? What about a cone? Is a cone a prism? A cone. Is a cone a prism, ladies and gentlemen? Is a cone a prism? Well, yes to this, yes to this, yes to this, no to this, of course, no to this, of course, because this does not have uniform cross-sectional area. If I cut this, yes, I get a circle, but it keeps getting smaller and smaller to the top. Yes, I'll get the same square, but it keeps getting smaller. It must be uniform, it must be the same size. If I take a knife to this at any point along the length, it will always give me the same circle. That's uniform cross-sectional area. That's what I mean. So now that you understand what a prism is, how do you find the volume of a prism? So volume is the amount of space that it occupies. Well, it's simple. For all of the prisms, you need to find the area of the cross-section, like how much area that is. And this is not a prism. So you find the area of the cross-section, and then you multiply it. After you found the area of the cross-section, you multiply that by how long you drive it, you drag the area through, the length or the height in some cases. So for example, this would be the length by the width by the height, or the height by the width by the length. Understand? This one would be the area of the triangle, and you multiply it by the length here. All right, so let's get back into the question. So pi r squared is really for the area of the circle, pi r squared, and we just multiply by the height. So pi, they said to use that 22/7, multiplied by r, which is 12 squared, multiplied by h, which is 17. So what's the mistake that I made here? I'm going full 100, but I'm seeing a bounce my toe here. What's the mistake that I make here? No, what happening here? Big man thing. This is the diameter, bro. The diameter. So I need to sort out that. By the way, if you spot that one time, as soon as you see a diameter, change it to radius one time. So you don't accidentally end up in problems. So this needs to be 6 centimeters. One time. Change that one time. Guys, I was watching over the stream and I saw I made a mistake in like the first or the second video. I'll put it in the comments. Something I was multiplying by something, somebody pointed out to me on Instagram, and I think it's somebody pointed out in the comments too, so I might just pin the comment as multiplying something, and I made a mistake, but I think you all pointed it out in the live as well, or they probably know what I'm talking about. So I'll just correct that, right? It wasn't anything detrimental. 22. Well, the reason I'm saying that too is because I see a TikTok, one of my YouTube legends, them make a mistake, and a man going off on the man because so you can't. So yes, so what you're saying is we can't make a mistake on YouTube. YouTube teachers not supposed to be making mistakes. Like that's not supposed to be cube, day. That's supposed to be what? Square. That's supposed to be cube. That's supposed to be cube. I make mistakes all the time. Because especially like when you're talking and writing, it's easy to stumble and make a mistake. So just correct your mistake and go on. Don't be so insecure if you make a mistake. You're frightened to make a mistake. And they what people is get insecure with maths for is because you remember any voice in your head in school when you go up on the board and you make a mistake and somebody shout out, "She dance!" He does. So maths is how people feeling all kind of insecure ways. You're frightened to make a mistake. You're frightened to get called dance. Don't worry about it, Ali. Don't worry about it. So that's the volume you get it. One. Now, what you getting there? What you getting there? I'll use 3.14. Nothing wrong with making mistakes. I'll get the same thing I get, right? I hope let me bring up my answers here. I know you're looking kind of shaky. How they wanted it. Correct 4 significant figures. They wanted it to 4 significant figures. Let me secure the back. 1923 cm cube to 4 significant figures. Four sig figures. Underline this when you see this one time, right? If you don't see this in a question one and it show up, underline this in case you forget and you lost a mark just because. So this is the exact answer, but they wanted it to 4 significant figures. The bowl is completely filled with soup. All right, tell you. Now water is soup. When all the soup is poured into the empty cylindrical tin, 90% of the volume of the tin is filled. Calculate the radius of the bowl. Way, sir. All right. So what it's saying is that this is the soup bowl here. This is the tin. If I fill the bowl with soup and then I pour it into this, I will only reach 90%. So they're saying the volume of this is 90% of the volume of the cylinder. Woo! Look at my logical skills now, boy. Unmatched. So the volume of the hemisphere mean half, right? The volume of the hemisphere is 90% the volume of the cylinder. And they give us the volume of a sphere here. So if our hemisphere, I just need to divide you by 2. All right. Calculate the radius of the bowl. Are you ready? Are you ready for them? Are you ready to put on the best piece of measurement work here? So the volume of the hemisphere is equal to 90% of the volume of the cylinder. And we know the formula for volume of a sphere. Volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cube, right? Yes, 4/3 pi r cube. So of a hemisphere, I need to divide by 2. Did I put pi there? What is going on? What is really going on? You see that? I'll tell you, sometimes when you're talking, you just do weird things. So, like if I'm dividing this by 2, it will be 4/6 pi r, and I say cube and I put squared, pi r cube. All right, so let you catch your breath. Let you catch your breath and understand this. Remember, we had the soup bowl, it was filled. We pour it into the cylinder, and it only make it up to 90% of the cylinder. So that just means that the volume of the hemisphere is 90% the volume of the cylinder. So, and we already know what the volume of the cylinder is. That was given to us. Well, no, we worked that out. Show that is 19, or it was a show that 193. So is equal to 90% of 1923. 1923. And if I want to be exact, I could put the 0.4. There's the other one I show that as well. No, you just need to find the radius of the bowl. And the volume of a hemisphere is 4/6 pi r cube. So far, so good, everybody. You're hanging in there. Happy Teacher Day, Uncle Springs. Thank you, Tiana. You see this? My camera following me around again. That's be real dangerous. Cut that out, bro. Because if I get up and think that walk around the room and thing. So how I get the 6? Because I divide by 2. If I divide this by 2, the 2 will end up is like I multiply by a half, so the 2 will end up interacting with the 3. So I get 4/6 pi r cube. Making sense? Making sense? 90% just means 0.9 or 90/100. So 0.9 multiplied by 1923.4 is 4/6 pi r cube. Multiply everything by 6. So it's really 4 pi r cube is equal to 6 times 0.9 by 1923.4. I fed up with all them numbers. What is that? Answer by 6 by 0.9. What do you get? So far, that come up to 10,386.51 or so. And then I need to divide by 4 because the 4 need to come across. And I also need to divide by pi. So let me just divide by 4 pi one time. Pi is a number. Pi is, they told us to use pi as 22/7. So let's replace that with just 22/7. If this part of the maths beating you, the fundamental part. Why we divide by 2 for the volume? This is the volume of a sphere. The bowl is half of a sphere. Y'all feel free to answer people questions in the chat. Divided by 4 times 22 over 7. And the final answer is, what you all get for the final answer? It looking kind of scary. Oh, we ain't done yet. 826.2. So I know that can't be the final answer because I kind of want something. Where's the question, boy? Where you, boy? I want something looking reasonable now, boy. This 12, I don't want to see 800. It ain't looking good. That ain't looking smart. That ain't looking good at all. But remember that R cube. That R cube. So I need to follow this up. R is equal to the cubed root of 826.2. So you need to make sure you know how to do that on your calculator. Calculator, bam. So this is how you do that on your calculator. You'll be like shift, bang, and you get cube root. Or you could make sure you know how to do it on your calculator, right? It have shift and this one, and you can manually put in the cube root of 826.2 is that 9.38. How much significant figures they wanted? Calculate the radius of the bowl. They didn't say anything. 9.38 is good. 3 significant figures equal 9.38 centimeters to, and that's sounding just right. That's sounding reasonable. To 3 significant figures. So this question was intense. Students who not too good with rearranging equations may struggle with this. The idea is simple enough. CXC loves a few different ideas that they love to do in measurement is big shape minus small shape. Y'all know what I mean when I say big shape minus small shape? So like you have a baby cylinder inside here, and to get the volume, you minus the big minus the small. They love big minus small. That's an idea that happens in measurement all the time. Another idea that happens, so big minus small. We may see that happen tonight. Another idea that happens in measurement all the time is compound shapes or compound solids. So you might see a hemisphere sit on top of a cylinder. Or you might just see a compound shape. Trapezium and maybe a square or something. You might just see a compound shape. So they love that idea. And the other idea that they like is this one that we just do here, where one thing, last time it was they had a cone couple. You ever do that question? Fills another. One fills another. And it doesn't, most of the time, it doesn't fill up the whole thing. It reaches a certain percentage or a certain volume of it. So these are 3 main ideas that you could brace yourself for in a measurement question. Hey, it's good thing I be giving you the hand. Write that down. So 3 main ideas that you can brace yourself for in a measurement question. Let's move on. So in the diagram below, you have a semicircle. So you could clearly see which idea is this. What idea is this being tested here? We need to read nothing. What idea is this being tested here? A big shape minus a small shape, right? Clearly, and we are get the area shaded. So I'll go ahead and do this now. My AC here kind of old, so the vent don't work properly. So the vent fall down, and right now it's blowing on that cold breeze and my. So I need to take a piece of cardboard and stick it. So let me just take my camera off. You know the thing falling back down in slow motion. Cardboard, you ain't doing your work. You're doing your work. All right, let me power through a little bit again. We have a long session. I can't take all that cold breeze and my back there. So in the diagram below, points L, M, and R on the circumference of a semicircle with the center O radius 18. Radius is 18. That we know that. And we already area the shaded part. So all you're feeling, it's a real ways to do this question. Real ways to do this question. Let me see if you could come up with the easiest way. Like it's so much ways to do this question. You see how they make this a right angle? Because this is also a right angle triangle. This will be 18 as well. Because the radius, this is 18 as well. Making sense, everybody? So I think the easiest way would be to find the area of the triangle, the whole triangle. You could also find the area of like one of the triangle and then double it. But I see like we can find the area of the whole triangle using the simplest triangle formula. What's the simplest triangle formula for area? Thing that you know from primary school. Area of triangle is base by height divided by 2. And what is the base? 18 and 18. 36 by 18 divided by 2. What's the answer there? So we have the area of the triangle. Remember, this is big shape minus small shape. Thank you, Monique. Big up yourself and your whole family. Same time. The area of the semicircle. Well, we already discovered that the area of a circle, it kind of stick it like it's on the tip of my head. The area of the semicircle is pi r squared. Area of the circle is pi r squared. So area of a semicircle is the area of the circle, and you just hit the little divide by 2. And they say to use pi as 22/7 for all these questions. And in this question, use pi as 22/7. Thank you, CXE. You know, you didn't say that for the last 2-3 years. You was slipping. You know, come back and catch yourself there. So 22/7. So instead of putting everything over 2, I'll just multiply by a half, right? That's the same thing as putting it over 2. I'll just put like a half on the outside here. That's cleaner. Half by 22/7 multiplied by 18 squared. What's this area? All you're cooking, they are 324. Now what them tell me is CM squared. So what's the area there? Let me go and double check this. Next thing all you're cooking, but the dish is a bad dish all you're making here. 324 is good. 324 is good. 509.14. 509.14. Josh is a man, no, he think he was killing it in physics last night. 509.14 cm squared. So therefore, the total area of the shaded sections. So area of shaded sections. There were other ways to do these questions. You might see it online, but I feel like this is the fastest way. You just find two things and subtract. 509.14 minus 324. What is that? Cm squared is the final answer. So what y'all think about this measurement question? Thanks, Nalini. Big up yourself, big up your family, your village, everything. Your name is the same as one of the legends in the student hub, Miss Nalini. Anybody in the student hub, you must know Miss Nalini if you went through the student hub. 185.14. 185.14. So not a bad measurement question. That was January. This is a classic. It's pretty difficult for like a student who, in a 200 in the geometry and the shape stuff, or you struggle to see spatial objects, or to transposition is giving you problems. If transposition is giving you problems, you might bounce it on this. But this is a classic. This wasn't easy or harder than the usual. This is how it normally comes. This is the difficulty of a measurement question. All right, let's go check another measurement question. The diagram below shows a triangle labeled ABC. What in the world is measurement? Steady coordinates of A, reflection, is transformation in the measurement question. They used to do this back in the day, so we just ignore that for now. All right, let's do this one. The diagram not drawn to scale shows two circles that fit exactly into the rectangle ABC as shown below. The radius of the smaller circle is 14 and the radius of the larger circle is 12. Show that the area of the rectangle. So what idea is being tested here? Which one of the three main ideas that CXC love be going to be tested here? One thing fill into another. A big minus a small or a compound shape something. What do you think here? What do you think going to do here? What do you think they're going to do here? They are big shape minus a small shape. At the end of the day, it's shaded region is a big minus small. So should that the area of the rectangle is this? How do we get that? So there's some critical thinking involved here. So let me give you some ideas if you struggle to like see through and think through these things. Some people, you don't need to be taught this, you just know it. And somehow you just know this. No teacher ever teach you it. You can figure out these questions. If you're struggling to think through it, always try to figure out what they want, put what they want, and realize what's missing. So they want the area of the rectangle. How do I find the area of a rectangle? Length by width. Do I know the width? No. Do I know the length? No. Ask yourself. I need to find that to find the area. So I had to figure out the length and the width somehow. What on this can give me the width? Is this a radius? Won't that be the same 21 across here? And is this won't that be the same 14 there? And what about this? This circle is touching the width. So that's 21 this way and 21 that way. So can you find the width? Can you see that it's going to be 42? And can you see that the length is going to be 42 plus 28 is 40 plus 30 is 70. The length is going to be 70 cm. Yes, class. And then, therefore, the area, and you must show all of this, you must clearly state how you get all of these things. The area of the rex is length by width 70 times 42 give us that. Therefore, QED, you prove it. Making sense? Given that pi is equal to 22 over 7, determine the area of the shaded region. So we already have the area of the big shape. We just need to find the smaller shapes and minus. If this come, this kind of the easier end. What do you think? It kind of the easier end, right? Kind of the easier end of things, bro. And once you could see that you connect this to make the length and the width, that kind of the easier end of things. Determine the area of the shaded region. So the area of small circle, area of the small circles is, don't worry about that. Yeah, I know the spell circle. All you had to figure out how to spell circle. Pi r squared. And the area of the big circles, pi r squared again. Well, this we could call that r2, you could call that r1. So this is pi by 14 squared. And this one is pi by 21 squared. What is it to use as pi? 22 over 7. So instead of pi, I should have had 22 over 7 there. All you give me these answers now. Don't leave me out here struggling. 22 over 7. They're saying is 616. That's what they're saying. Now what the street saying. And what was the next one? It's 21. 22 over 7. What's this one over there? 938. 938. So therefore, shaded region is going to be the big shape minus the small shape. You can even write that if you want. Big shape minus small shapes. Smaller shapes, or the rectangle. It could be specific. The rectangle minus the two circles, which will be the 2940 minus the 616 plus the 938, which gives us which gives us 938. Wait, let's set me up there. This 938 is the actual answer. 938 is the actual answer. So for this one, it's to actually be 1386. All I was working ahead. All I didn't realize I relying on all for the calculations. 938 cm squared. So yeah. So cool. What do you think about this? I think this is our best case scenario here. If something like this happened for the exam, measurement man went easier and earlier. But measurement man doesn't be on them kind of easy thing. He's being more complicated things. They finish off here with a kind of triangle geometry thing. Determine the value of angle x, y, z, x, y, z. What? X, z, y, or this angle here. So I'll cross this bridge at the next class. I don't wanna complicate matters. X, y is an isosceles triangle. So these two angles must be the same. These two angles must be the same. And if the perimeter of xyz is that, find the length xz. Are you want me to do this now or just go on to more relevant things? Calculate the area of the triangle xyz. Since they went and used the word area of the triangle here, will we jump? They went ahead with area. I thought it was kind of not measurementish. So these two angles will be 180 minus 86 divided by 2. The base angles in an isosceles triangle are equal. Therefore, that angle that you call them theta is 180 minus 86 divided by 2. All the angles in a triangle add up to 180. To 180 degrees. So this plus this is 180. So if I take 86 from 180 and then I divide by 2, I'll get angle is 47. This is 47. This angle is and this angle is also 47. So okay, we find the angle 47. If the perimeter of xyz is 31.5, find the length xz. Also pretty simple, because if this is two sides are equal on the isosceles triangle. I'm gonna tell you a secret. I only really learned how to spell isosceles like 5 years ago. For 30 years in my life, I spelled an isosceles like this. How is it spell it? Isosceles? No, isosceles. I really didn't know it had an S inside it. I have a degree in mechanical engineering, bro, and I never see that S inside it. I feel before the year 2019 that S was not in isosceles. They just bring that S out for isosceles. Anyhow, two sides are equal in an isosceles triangle. So xy is equal to yz. I teach in math so long and I don't know how to spell isosceles triangle. So 9.6 is equal to 9.6. So I don't want to write it like that. I want to write x 9.6 is equal to yz. Therefore, the missing side that we're trying to find is xz. Xz must be equal to the perimeter, the whole thing, because I just figured out that this is 9.6 as well, right? 31 minus 9.6 plus 9.6. And what you get it? 12.3 centimeters. That making sense? So it wasn't that bad. Maybe if you see the triangle and you get frightened and you start to think SOHCAHTOA and Pythagoras theorem, you'd skip out on some easy marks. This was literally a question where they was doing so. They're saying, yo, it have an isosceles triangle. If this is 80, find them missing sides. Isosceles. So you subtract the 180 minus the 80, you get 100. And you split it up, you get 50 and 50. That's how easy that question was. And then they tell you, this is 10. They didn't tell you what this is, but you know I 10 too. And then they tell you, hey, the perimeter is really, let me say the perimeter is 25. What is that side? So you know you just add up this and subtract, so you get 5. That was that question. Real simple stuff, right? Somebody actually 31.5, sorry. 31.5 come from, they gave us that. The perimeter of XYZ is 31.5. Calculate the area of the triangle. Well, we actually need to go into high gear here. This is the hardest part. Well, not really hardest part, but you need to know this formula. This special formula for area of a triangle, not the base by height divided by 2. That can't work here, because you ain't no height. Right? You ain't no height. You don't know the height. So you have to use this formula, half AB sine C. And how does this formula work? If you have a triangle and you don't know the height, but you know you know the angle here. Let's say this angle is 40 degrees, and you know this side is like 11 and this side is 12.9. The formula works like this. Call the side A, call the side B, call this C, because this side is C, capital C. And you're going to say half A times B sine C. And that actually gives you the area of the triangle. So it's literally like half, you have to know this for CXC now, half 11 by 12.9 multiplied by the sine of 40 degrees. And you work it out using your calculator. Half side by side multiplied by the sine of the enclosed angle. Very good, Amanda. You already leave for the word sine. Half AB sine C. So it's half and it's a isosceles, so it's 9.6 by 9.6. Math students, you'll know this inside out because this coming for sure in the first part of your tricks question. And when you record that, what you're going to get? You're literally going to type all that in your calculator. Don't forget the half. Half 9.6 squared or 9.6 by itself. 9.6, let's put it in exactly like how it's there. By the sine, make sure your calculator is in degrees of 86. Close that up. Bang. 45.97. Did it specify anything? 45.97 sounds good. So 2 decimal places. Standard is really 3 significant figures, but that 97 was just looking so sweet there. If you go to 3 significant figures, it'll actually go to 46.0. So 46.0, because this will change that 1 and you'll get some problems with that 3 significant figures there. Any one of these answers could work. All right. What y'all think? Let's go on to the next one. The scale on a map is that. Ooh, love this question. This is a rarity. So the chances of this coming is slim. But if it does come, Caribbean in trouble. There will be weeping and moaning and gnashing of teeth if this does come. Right? The scale on a map is 1 to 75,000. Calculate the actual distance in kilometers represented by 0.5 centimeters on the map. Determine the actual area in kilometers squared represented by 4.1 cm squared on the map. So, do you know how to do this question? Yes or no? I know how to do this question. Oh, I don't know how to do this question. Yes or no? That's not why the teachers and the students are talking about something. I'm going to see what I'm talking about. Wait, real man is happening in CXC boy. One of these students in the school, they give them the POA paper 2 today by accident instead of the paper 1. You can imagine that? CXC spy. Close your eyes. Close your ears. Don't listen to this. The real kicks dog. Whoever that examiner or invigilator is must be scared right now. And the invigilators ask if they remember what they read on the paper too after taking it back. The real bacchanal ID, dog. What is that? What is this? CXC or invigilators are looking 200 this year, you know. Invigilators. What shall you try to figure out what school are happening? So you can and call your links in that school to see what's going on. And gosh, right. Wait, what that mean? So it depends on how long they had it. It depends on how long they had it for. Yeah, all right, honey. We studying here. It never have a calm exam season. Okay, you can't just have a little calm exam season. Calculate the actual distance in kilometers, represented by 0.5 centimeters on the map. So the main concept here is that you use this scale to switch from map to real. I can't draw the real, of course, right? They're switching from map to like the real island, real thing. So if I told you the scale is on the map, the scale is 1 to 50,000. And I told you this is tongue P and this is tongue Q. From tongue P to tongue Q has a distance of 5 centimeters. It means in reality, it's actually 50,000 times more than that, right? In reality, the distance is 5 times 50,000, which is what? 250,000 centimeters. The one last trick that I need to remember for these, no, there's two more tricks that I need to remember for these scale questions is how to convert centimeters to kilometers. There are 100,000 of these in 1 kilometer. So if you take a centimeter, you know how small a centimeter is, and you keep counting, and you count 100,000 times going down the road, you would make a kilometer. Go and try it, and you guess. It's true, it's true. 100,000 centimeters. When you reach, you can be like, oh, yeah, but it's true. 100,000 centimeters, you can reach by the time maths exam reach around. Is 1 kilometer. So, therefore, if in real is 250,000 centimeters, I could switch this to kilometers by just dividing by 100,000, and this will be, if I divide by 100,000, check and see, I'll get 2.5 kilometers. Well, that I think is Lanisha already have it up there. So in real, the distance is 2.5 kilometers. And that is all well and good if it's distance. There's some more tricks if area is involved. Well, let's go through and see what's happening here. Yes, they wanted it in kilometers. This is the scale. So what we are going to say, let's snap this question and put it on our board. Right now, that invigilator who do that cannot sleep tonight. Reach home. The husband asking him what going on, Gail. How was work today? Don't want to talk about it. Pack your bags. Pack up a suitcase just in case. Oh gosh. That real jam. I didn't know how you could get it, how you could get on the paper two instead of the paper ones. Eh, real errors happening this year with the surrounding the invigilators, boy. Calculate the actual distance in kilometers represented by 0.5. Right. So we want to say this is how you write the statement. On the map, 0.5 cm. In reality, it's 0.5 multiplied by 75,000. 0.5 by 75,000 is how much, boy? It's half of 75,000. I didn't think about that. All right, so 37,500 centimeters. Now keep the units the same, right? You don't automatically change the kilometers until you do your thing, which is to change it to kilometers. What do you do to change centimeters to kilometers? You divide by the 100,000, and that's going to be 0.375 kilometers. Making sense? 2 marks in the bag there. The next part is a little more tricky. Determine the actual area in kilometers squared by 4.1 cm squared. The area scale doubles. No, I shouldn't say doubles, squares. And it's based off of this concept that is tested in SEA primary school at the end of primary school. Don't know if you remember this concept. Let me show you what I mean. This is going to make sense just now, eh? Just now. It coming. In the meanwhile, you all could tell me what's the area of this small square. What's the area of this small square? What's the area of this small square? The area gonna be 4, whatever them thing is, 4 squares, right? Let me say cm squared. 4 cm squared. What was the length here? What's the length of one side? 1, 2. 2 cm. So what's the scale then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is the length of this? This is 8 cm. Where do you think the scale is? Like if this was the map and it's the real thing. I know I could have just do so one thing, but I wanted to put it like this so you can see the idea. Where do you think the scale would be here? This is a scale of 1, 2. Every one here is it's not double, it's actually 1 to 4. Well done, Josh. Josh is a bright fella. And light. Where do I know that name light from? Death Note. Death Note. Light was the good guy or the bad guy? Don't be writing anything in your books there now. 1 to 4. So this is 1 to 4. That's the scale that you are given in CXC in these kind of map questions. I don't want to take too long on this because I rash question. The scale that is given in these questions is always a linear scale. So it's always the scale to do with the sides or like a length or the distance. The area scale will automatically be the same because if I multiply this by 4, I will get 16. That's the area of this. What's the area of this thing? What's the area of the big thing? The real thing to add up there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You go until you eventually get to 64 cm squared. So it means something else going on here between the area. You all understand what I'm drawing to you? So if the area of this small shape is 4, don't come and use the scale. You can't use the scale, brother. Can't use that scale. However, you could use this scale and then use the new scale. So that's real confusing, Mike. Where I get my teaching credentials from. All right. So what I'm saying is you could square the scale, square the linear scale. So if I square this, it'll be 1 to 16. You understand? 4 squared is 16. And now I can use this scale. 4 by 16 is 64. And that little piece of knowledge there, important for one little tiny thing that has come once in every 10, 15 times in mathematics exam. So please know that. Let's see how it's going to affect this question. Determine the area if it's 4.1 cm squared. So you can't just say this, multiply by this. You actually need to square the scale. So the area on the map is 4.1 cm squared. But in reality, the area is 4.1 multiplied not just by 75,000, but by 75,000 squared. And I hope you believe me and you understand why I need to square this. Is get ridiculously big numbers, but it's always work out when you change it back into kilometers squared. Because you're going to see one last trick. One last trick there, ladies and gentlemen. So your calculator didn't even want to tell you this number. Your calculator like, bro, take it in standard form. 2.30 625 by 10 to the power of 10. Now you get 2.30, by 10 to the power of 10. Or my calculator plain there. This is the first time I'm feeling lost. Should I teach this topic? Anybody benefiting from this topic? Is a really rare topic, but it's something that I need to know. Yeah? Thanks by Gaming King Jr. Bless up to you, your whole family, everything. People say no, don't teach this topic. Say don't teach this. Let me just go fast. Go through fast. For those who catching on to it, right? All I'm saying is that the scale that you use in CXC, in all these questions, I use scales and things, is almost always work out. You don't need to worry about anything except when you see area pop into a question. If you see area popping, you're going to have to square the scale for the scale to work. You can't just use the same scale. And as the reason being, I wonder if you ever run across this thing in primary school where it was like change 200 centimeters to meters, and you're like, that really easy to divide and everything and two, but then you always get any question wrong where they say change like 10, let's say 15,000 cm squared to meters squared, because you always divide thinking you could just continue dividing by 100, and you can't. That's not how it works. You actually have to divide by 100 squared. So area scales are different than linear scales, and it's something that is tested in CXC, something that's in the syllabus, but it just comes so rare. Teachers don't really deal with that. In reality, this is it, but this is in cm squared. To change cm squared, 1 cm squared is equal to 1 kilometer squared is equal to 100,000 cm squared? No. You have to square the scale again. Anytime you're going to square with area, you have to square the scale. So to switch this to kilometers squared, you actually need, last time we just divide by 100,000, you need to divide by 100,000 squared. So finally, the area in kilometers squared, just take your answer from last time and divide by 100,000 squared to be squared. And you will get the answer, and it will work out a really nice, humble, nice answer. Divided by 100,000 squared, and you get some kind of nice, simple answer like 2.30 kilometers squared, which just make perfect sense. 2.31 km squared. So yeah, boy, that question deceptively hard. Deceptively hard. Let's go on. Let's pretend that never happened. Let me just go on. Let's pretend that's not going to happen. The diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows the cross-section of two cylindrical containers. All right, what is this question? What style be we back to normal here? What being tested on here? Keep in mind, it's a long stream, and we're going for real long. It's until I run out of energy. This is the normal styles of measurement question here. What is big and small? No. The big minus small is when you have a big shape and you have a small shape, and you need to get the area of the shaded region and thing. Like the big minus small question. What's being tested here? The fill. This is a fill question. Most likely something going to fill up here. So this is a fill-in question, right? All the liquid is poured into that calculate the height. Is a fill question. So the volume had to be equal to the volume, something like that. You're dealing with volumes. You understand how you could kind of start to compartmentalize things in mathematics? And okay, I'm going to bring from this draw. The diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows the cross-section of two cylindrical cylinders A and B. The diameters of the container and B are 3D, cm, and 2D. Okay, they're being naughty. So they're giving us the diameter in terms of a letter. So they're going to throw off 20% of the Caribbean day. 20% of the Caribbean done fall off the train there already. Because what is that? Why didn't just give you numbers? Initially, container A contains liquid to a height of 6 centimeters, where container B is empty. Right. Determine in terms of pi and d the volume of liquid in container A. So there's your first challenge. Your first challenge is to determine in terms of pi and d. You don't need to, they're not giving you more pi's, just in terms of pi and d, the volume of the liquid in container A. So let's go and do down with board. It's actually pretty simple, right? Determining in terms of the volume, we had a container here. This was 3D in length. And here we had our liquid. Liquid reached up to 6 or so, 6 centimeters. 6 centimeters, 6 centimeters. And we just need to get the volume. So how that's, I don't know if you, this is a two-dimensional view, but if we, let me bring on my artistic skills here. If you look at this from a three-dimensional view, it's a volume, right? It's basically a cylinder. Agreed? So it is a volume of liquid here but it will actually form a cylinder. If you think about it, the liquid itself, what I'm saying, the liquid itself is forming a cylinder, and that's the volume what they want. You seen it? How you feeling about that? That's what they want. They want the volume of the liquid in container A. They want that cylinder there. So how do you find the volume of a cylinder? Basically, they're asking you, at the end of the day, you're trying to figure out what formula to use. That's measurement. You're trying to figure out what formula to use. And the volume of a cylinder, so let's write that volume of a cylinder is equal to, we do this already, pi r squared by h. The chances of this formula coming in your exam is extremely high. They love cylinders. They love them. Pi r squared by h. Measurement man loves cylinders. Pi r squared by h. So what is h? We happen to know h. H is 6. It reached up to 6. What is pi? We don't really know pi. We have 3D. Is there anything that can help us with pi? No, they want this in terms of pi and d. I'm asking pi r. What is r? R is what I wanted to say. What is r? The radius. Did I say r or pi? R. We don't really know pi. We have the whole diameter, which is 3D. So what is r? If the diameter is 3D, can you see that the radius is going to be 3D divided by 2? Or some people write it like 3 over 2D. You just divide the diameter by 2. Don't worry about the D. Don't let letters frighten you. Imagine that. Big, hardback man like you afraid a letter. You can't do it because it have a letter. It have a letter. I can't do it. There's a letter. There's the letter D, boy. You afraid? D? 3D divided by 2. Right? So pi r squared h. We just need to substitute all the different things. We need to substitute for pi. We don't know what pi is, so use pi. We need to substitute for r. There's r. We need to substitute for h. There's h. So we're gonna end up with, what are we gonna end up with? Pi r is 3d over 2 to be squared, and h is 6. All you understand? That making sense? Pi by 3d. Yeah, accidentally click that man comment there. Accidentally. Pi by 3d over 2 to be squared by 6. You all understand these substitutions? And then we just simplify. I hope everybody with me. Let me just do a quick review. It will only take like 20 seconds. We got the radius by dividing this by 2, and we substituted 3d over 2. We got the height by watching this dimension that was given. We substituted. We didn't bother to put 22 over 7 here because they say leave it in terms of pi, meaning leave the pi alone. And that's it. That's it. So so we just need to simplify. 2 can actually go into 6. What we can't do that is add a square up first. We go and deal with this properly across here. So this is pi. If you put 3d and you square it, you'll end up with 9d squared. Are you agree? Check it and see. And if you square 2, you'll end up with 4. So that's the only way we could get rid of this squared. Then we could multiply by 6. So this is going to end up 4. It's kind of messy, boy. Kind of annoying, to be honest. 2 could go into this 2 times. 2 could go into this 3 times. I wanted it to finish off cleaner. I'll end up with 3 over 2 by pi by 9 d squared. The 9 could multiply by 3. So I get 27 over 2 pi d squared. 27 over 2 pi d squared. No, this is what you need to do. How you're ending up with an answer here. You can't end up with an answer. You can't end up like with a numerical answer. Because they want it in terms of pi and d. Where you get d from, you don't know what d is. And don't get rid of the pi the same. All right, cool. What next? Wait. For 2 marks, that's a little excessive, boy. What going on with all your day, boy? In all of the liquid from contain If all of the liquid from container A is poured into container B, calculate the height it will reach. So how do you do a kind of question like this? So visualize this one now. This is the volume of the liquid in container A. And all of this into container B. And the only difference with container B is that its diameter is a little smaller. It's 2 times D, it's not 3 times D. So we're going to pour all the liquid. Let's give me a little chance here to draw the liquid I poured it in earlier. We pour all the liquid into this container. It will go a little higher end because this container is skinnier. That making sense, right? So the liquid will end up a little higher. And they want us to actually figure out the height. So how are we going to do that? Well, we know the volume is 27 over 2 pi d squared. So we know this volume is 27 over 2 pi d squared. So that's the volume. So what we can do is some equating here and see if you can get H to roll out. See if you can get H to drop out. What's the volume of this? If we didn't know this, what's the volume of this? Was it pi d squared or pi d cubed? Pi d squared. How do we get the volume of the small cylinder? Pay attention, everybody. How do we get the volume of that small cylinder? Same way we got the volume of the large one. So the volume is equal to pi r squared by h. In this case, we know pi would just be pi. R is 2d divided by 2 to b squared. Yes? Basically, r is just d. And h, we don't know what h is, so let's just put h. H is what we're trying to find earlier. Stay focused, stay locked in. So this is pi, cross all them twos, d squared is d squared by h. Take how much of a time you need to focus and get that in. But it must finish in 10 seconds. So pi d squared by h is the volume of the blue part there. All right, what next? What is next? Well, this volume have to be equal to the volume here because we poured this in, this came from before. So let's equate 27 over 2 pi d squared is equal to pi d squared by h. And we can just eliminate these guys with boop, boop. It's on both sides of the equation. We can eliminate. You understand? That's like if I say 3 by x is equal to 3 by 10. Then I can cross out that 3 and then x is 10. 3 by x, so I can just cross out them. And I will end up with, fantastically, h is equal to 27 over 2. So this is the hardest question we do on measurement so far. 27 over 2. Somebody see this question and they say, yep, I'm cooked. This is one of the worst case scenario questions for measurement. When you're taking one volume and pouring it in the other, them fill-in questions can go really intense. All right, and that just like that, you would have finished, and you got your height to be 22 over 7, aka 13.5 centimeters, which sounds reasonable according to the question. Let's go and try another one. So watching this diagram, what style is being tested here? We're coming up to the half mark. After this, we're going to do some series and sequences. Remember, I told you all this is a long session. We're going to do a double session tonight. What style is this? Just watching the diagram alone. It have a prism, so a prism is involved. But what else? This is a big shape, big solid minus a small solid. Big solid minus a small solid. You're seeing like you have some cylindrical cutaway to take away from the cuboid vibe here. So let's go forward with this and see what's going to happen. Given that the diameter of the small cylinder is 7 centimeters, draw a cross-sectional view of the wooden block, showing the measurement of the radius of the circle and sides of the rectangle. What kind of technical drawing question is this, boy? Technical drawing people, they get next chance. Given that the diameter of this small circle is 7 centimeters, draw a cross-sectional view of the wooden block showing the measurement of the radius of the circle and the sides. Okay, they just want you to draw this, the cross-sectional view, but they also want you to include the radius, of the circle. Yes, this could come in mathematics. Yes, it's very technical drainage, but it could still come in mathematics. So let me get a clean board. What they're really asking for is the square. And then you'll find the center of the square. Figure out how you're going to find the center of the square. We're going to get in between this, and come down like this. Find the center. And then draw a circle from that center using your compass. But the circle, given that the diameter of the small cylinder is 7, the circle must be 3.5 centimeters in radius. That making sense? Half of the diameter. So you're drawing a circle of radius 3.5 centimeters. On this, you will show that this is the entire diameter is 7 centimeters. And you will show that this, how much this one was? I think that was 14 centimeters. So the circle might be a little bigger than that, to be honest. So this is the cross-sectional view. So that's what they're looking for. Show the measurements of the radius of the circle and the size of the rectangle. Yes, we did that. Show that the capacity of the small cylinder is that. Capacity is just a fancy word for volume. We use capacity when you're talking about liquids filling up a volume. So the capacity of the small cylinder is 808.5. Basically asking you to find the volume of the cylinder. Now the cylinder is lying flat like this, but I don't mean it's not cylindrical. And cylinder is a cylinder where it's lying down or flat or whatever. So the whole idea is a cylinder. We do this 3 times already for the night. You find the area here and you multiply by this piece here. And we write that by saying that the volume is, or the capacity is equal to pi r squared. That's the area of the circle, pi r squared. And then you multiply by this, the length or the height. Most of the time we use height. So let's fill in these things. The length here is 21. The length of the height is 21. The R, we already established that the R is 3.5 cm. We established that, right? Wait, I make a mistake. What going on here? Everything good so far? And as it pi is pi, did they say use something for pi? Pi is 22/7. Pi is 22/7. So let's just substitute. So 22/7 by 3.5 squared multiplied by height 21. What does the answer gives? Just saying is 80.8.5 cm cube. And just as a man, you can trust Josh. Josh is a man waiting. So that the capacity. Oh, they say show that is a show that question. Fantastic. So you work it out and it will go to 808.5. So you're happy with yourself. Given the volume of the material, determine the volume of the material used to make the wooden block. So in other words, they're asking you for the volume of everything, but minus the volume of the cylinder. You understand? You understand these measurement questions? So you have the volume of the whole cylinder. We just found that. So to find the volume of the wooden block, which have a cylindrical hole, it's bored, so it's not there. It's a hole. You know what a hole is? It's not there. The cylinder, the capacity of the cylinder that we found, not there. That 808.5 is not there. So what we need to do is find the volume of the cuboid as if the cylinder is there, and then subtract it to find the volume of the wooden block. That making sense? How do you get the volume of the cylinder? So of the cuboid, sorry. Volume of the cuboid. The volume of the whole cuboid is found by length, by width, by height, which is 14 by 21 by 12, which is how much? 14 by 21 by 12 is something. And then the volume of the block will have to be whatever volume we just found there minus the 808.5, which according to them is the Nisha and them done locking down this question a long time. 3528. You get 2719.5 cm cube. So big minus small, that is one of the better questions in measurement. Big shape minus small shape is less problematic than volume, filling up an X volume and you have to find the height. For most students, that's less traumatic. Given the density, and when they give you this and you find some volume, a lot of times you have to paint the surface or find the density or find how much money it is in gold or some kind of thing like that. Look it up, you can see. And they give you the formula for density, mass over volume. They told us the density in grams per cm cube, determine the mass in kilograms, well, diagonally, of the wooden block. Well, let's use this density formula. We have the volume, and density is equal to mass over volume. Stay with me, Ali. Don't zone out. Lock in, lock in. Hey, take a stretch, lock in. It's a long session. Take a stretch. We given the density, we just found the volume, we asked to find the mass. So rearranging this, can you see if I bring the volume up, it will multiply. Mass is the density, and I'll write a physics term there, rho, by the volume. Density by the volume. They gave us the density 1.6 grams per cm cube. 1.6 grams per cm cube. And the volume, we just found that to be, lock in. We just found that to be, what we found it to be earlier. 2719.5. 2719.5. So multiply this and tell me what you get. 2719.5 multiplied by 1.6 is 4351.2. This was in cm cube. Cm cubes cancel, saying a bit grams. Are we finished there? Are we finished with this question? Did we find the mass? Is that what they wanted? The lock now lock in. The war maths and physics, they blend so bad. Are we finished? No, we are not. We are not. Let's go back to the question. These people sneaking in kilograms here. Subtly. And we only found this in grams because they gave us this in grams per cm cube. So we need to convert to kilograms. So convert to kilograms, we need to divide by 1000, of course. 4351.2. And we will get 4.3512 kg. And now we're done. Sneaky. All right, so is this new? This is all we had to do this question. Last question in measurement. And then we're going to go on to this, our series and sequences worksheet. That's this style of question. Tell all it's a long session today. It's a long session today. That's this kind of thing. I want to show you all the tricks on this. My class, I show all the tricks on this time and time again. So we're going to go through these style of questions and learn how to do them so we can be ready for the exam when it comes. And then when we finish this, if all you have energy, we could start completing this square. Let me see if all you have energy to do all of that. Let's go. See, some people drop. We was on the higher 600s. All you press like on the stream day. Press like on the stream day. Take a screenshot. Matter of fact, let me get ready again, screenshot mode. Take a screenshot, post it on your WhatsApp, whatever, and let people know it's a late session tonight. Late session tonight with Uncle Springs. Late session tonight. So there's a breather. Catch us. Go and use the bathroom. Go and use the bathroom and come back again. Only a quick breather here. Quick break. Quick breather. Don't go and lie down on your bed. Don't go and watch Netflix and thing there. Quick breather. We coming back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Catch a layer, bread. Take a screenshot. Share it on your WhatsApp, share it on your groups, let them know we're going for a long session tonight. But it's still early. And we can make it up to 10 o'clock. What do you think? We can make it up to 10 o'clock tonight. If you're off WhatsApp, just I don't know. Well then show your dog, take your screenshot and show your dog. Or share it on Instagram. You can tag me if you share it on Instagram. 2 minutes done. Go back on the last question. Yeah, what the solution? That's the solution for the last question. All right, we're getting ready to lock back in now. I'll press like. How much likes it have there? Yeah? That's all it's pay for these classes now. With a like by the press of the like. So those of y'all who just come in, hear this talk. In a school in Trinidad, the invigilators the invigilators for POA exam, you know, POA paper one passed today. Instead of getting them the paper one, they accidentally give them the paper 2 years. And the children open the paper 2 and see some things. But they take it back and ask them, how much thing you see, boy? How much thing you see? And they take it back and them. All right, let go. Quick breather done. So the reason why I'm still pushing ahead with this last measurement question is because this one have quadratic involved. So let's go and see what madness is going to happen here. The diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows a wooden triangular prism with the dimensions h cm by h plus 4. H is the height, h plus 4 is the width, 20 is the centimeters. Given the volume of the triangle, is a show that. So they give you the answer. You need to boil along to this. So the main issue people will have with this question, the soup question, Isaiah, I made a mistake with the soup. Why there, boy, Isaiah, boy? What was the final answer I get for this? Let me just show you the final answer I get for the soup question. This man going back to the soup question. Isaiah, why didn't tell me that earlier on? Or you type it and I didn't see. Where the soup, boy? Yeah, look the soup here. So what you saying I do? Isaiah, should I read your thing? It's correct. That's the same thing by Isaiah. Isaiah, what you doing, my boy? You're really trying to tell me 2/3 is not the same as 4/6 by Isaiah, boy? We looking too good with that one, Isaiah. But don't worry. It little late we was going long. Where you see? Is 2/3 not 4/6? But 2/3 is 4/6. But 2 into this is 2, 2 into this is 3. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. All right, let me get back in. Let me get back in. So we want to get the volume of this. So what I'm saying is the main issue is students forget how to find the volume of these things. So how are we going to find the volume, guys? How are we going to find the volume? Thanks, Isaiah. Yeah, I was trying to stop me from my error that you thought that, but it was an error. Don't worry about it, Isaiah. Don't worry about people. Don't worry about people, Isaiah. You come in front of the class and sit down and think. You enjoy yourself here. So the volume, how do you find the volume of this? Because we need to work out the volume and it will boil down to this thing. I think most people is do this by this by this. But that is not it. That is for cuboid, bro. That is a cuboid. This look like a cuboid too. First, you need to find the area of this triangle here. And then you multiply by that. So the volume of a prism is the area of the cross section multiplied by the height or the length. And what's the area of a triangle? Base by height divided by 2, and then you multiply by, let's call this length so that we don't conflate the two things. Length. So what is the base? The base is h plus 4. The height of the triangle is h. You divide that by 2, and then you multiply by the length, which is 20. And you're going to end cooking it around gas. So you got h by h is 8 squared, h by 4 is 4h, divided by 2, multiplied by 20, equal to 320, because they say the volume is 320, right? All the way coming down. Making sense? And of course, 2 could go into 20 10 times. And then 10 could come across and divide the 320. So it's 320 divided by 10 is equal to 8 squared plus 4h. Boom, it turned to 32 is equal to 8 squared plus 4h. And we're on the doorsteps of the answer there. Bring across the 32, bring back that 32 across here now, and you get this. 8 squared plus 4h minus 32 is equal to 0, which is that. Got it? Beautiful. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. Calculate the height of the wooden prison. Well. Iowa George. Well. To calculate the height of the wooden prison, we just need to solve this quadratic. Look at that. A wild quadratic appears. So we need to solve this quadratic there by Isaiah. Boy. So how we solving this quadratic? We're going to use the AC method. Hey, we come a long way from the algebra and thing. How time is fly when you're having fun. Until you're having fun. 8 squared plus 4h minus 32 is equal to 0. Negative 32 by that one AC. Two numbers are multiplied to give you 32, but add to give you 4. Well, 32 really had that much factors. What is multiplied to get you 32? 16 by 2. Or else? 8 by 4. 8 by 4. 8 by 4. So 8 by 4. So you're going 8 squared plus 8h minus 4h minus 32 is equal to 0. And then we go h into h plus. So look at the comments. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Do it over. We don't understand. Do it again. Slow down. All right. They want me to check it back again. Let me go back over again. This was a piece of mayhem here. Do it again. Let me see if I can get it clean. Earlier, we don't really do overs here. Doing over. All you know why it does say about do over? My philosophy on do over a little controversial. I want to hear my philosophy on do over. I started teaching not on YouTube. I started teaching back in 2005, 2006, right after I finished CXC myself. And I did a lot of private tuition, and that's where I became known as a teacher, going one-on-one all over Trinidad, and then small group and then large group classes. And during my early days of teaching, I was very obsessed with how some students learn. Like, how do you learn? How do you? Because I was looking at things like where I love teaching, as you can see. So I love breaking down things for people. I hate when somebody don't know something and I know that they could know something. You just need to do this, bro, and you would understand it. And when they understand it, I'd be so happy and warm and fuzzy feeling inside and whatever. So I just used to love breaking down. So when I reached a student and I get them to understand something, I watching back like a proud father, like, yes. But then the student go on in the exam and they do badly. And that used to have me concerned and obsessed. Like, how do students learn and how do some students do well, how some students do well. And that I could go on a long whole thing there with philosophy and learning and things. But one of the things that relevant now is I noticed a lot of the brilliant students never ask me to repeat. They never say, sir, do it over. And that's something your parents tell you to do when you go in school. Don't frighten the ask sir to do it over. Don't act frightened to ask it to do it over if you don't understand. Someone say I'm monologuing. This is important. Pay attention, bro. You're going to learn something here. This is a deep message. Lock in. So you're telling me, sir, that asking to repeat is a kind of bad thing? Like top students don't really do that? And maybe you're thinking, like, I know my top students. He asked to repeat. He asked to repeat. The smart fella in my class asked us to repeat. Well, yes and no. I'm not calling it that. Pay attention. What I realized that the toppies do, the students who went on to get scholarship, top the nation, merit list and thing when we teaching them, is in class, they used to ask a specific question. So this is something that I want you all to try to apply to your own school life. No, pay attention. Listen to this. This could save you in the long run. Better than CSEC Maths for your whole education, the rest of life in school and university. Instead of asking the teacher to repeat, try to ask a specific question where you fell off. And you would notice some of the students in this live was doing that. So where you get our 20 from, where you get this from, where you get that from, where this, and then I can immediately go to their point of concern and point it out. When you're asked to repeat, it normally demonstrates something bad. It either means that you wasn't paying attention, you're totally lost, that kind of thing. Sometimes, and this isn't the perfect way, like sometimes in reality, you really don't even know what to ask. You really don't even know what to ask. You don't even know what to ask. I don't even know where to begin with. I don't even know what I don't understand. Just ask the first line. Put this into play, write it down. Instead of asking, if you are one of the students who always asking, Miss, you can repeat that. Instead of that, ask Miss, where that X come out from? Miss, why that negative? Miss, why this is so? Ask from the point that you slipped off from. It's just something that the top students do. Watch your niggas in your class. Watch your niggas see the student, they paying attention and then they realize they don't connect the dots. They ask from where the dots stop connecting. Instead of asking to repeat. This is an online class, and you don't need to ask. You could just do so with your mouse and pull back, and you could repeat it. You could repeat it yourself. You don't need to ask me to repeat. You is the boss. You are the mouse. You could turn me off right now. You could say this man talking too much and turn me off right now. So, what I want you to put into practice is ask specific questions. All right, let me go. All right, so what I did is I found the volume of this. I also said the main problem that people have is that they think of these triangular prisms like a cuboid. So if this was like H and let me call this 10 and let's say 2H, and I ask you to find the volume of this, it'll be H by 2H by 10, right? Length by breadth by height. Length by breadth by height. However, this is not a length by breadth by height. There's a triangular prism. It wouldn't work. It would not work, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to use the formula for the volume of a prism. What is the volume of a prism? The volume of a prism is the cross-section area, the CSA, the C/SA, multiplied by the height or the length. For example, if I had a prism like this, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a hexagon. If I had a hexagonal prism, and I told you that this area is 15 centimeters squared, and I told you that this length is 10 cm, what is the volume? The volume is going to be the cross-sectional area by the length. It's going to be the 15 centimeters squared by the 10, which is 150 cm squared. Cube. Volume is in cube. Sorry, is in cube. So 15 by the 10 is 150 cm cube. That making sense, earlier? However, we don't have numbers. We have letters. We also don't know the area of the triangle, so we needed to figure that out first. So we found the area of the triangle, folks. The volume of a prism is the cross-sectional area by the height. So we go ahead and find the area of the triangle using this formula, base by height divided by 2. The base is h plus 4. We multiply by the height, we divide it by 2. h by h plus 4. So we get h squared plus 4h over 2. Also, I will be ripping through the algebra. This is h by h is h squared. H by 4 is 4h. We divide by 2. So this is the area of the triangle. So great. We have the area of the triangle. H squared plus 4h all over 2. And now we need to multiply it by 20. So I did h squared plus 4h all over 2 multiplied by 20. The 2 went into 20, we get 10. So I got 10 by h squared plus 4h. But the question told us that the volume is actually 320. So that's when I threw in the 320 there. You don't believe me, eh? The volume of the triangular prism is 320. Are you with me? Nobody fall off the boat there, right? We're on the boat there, everybody. The pot getting ingredients now. Very good. Very good. Very good. All right. We cooking? Somebody said no, we not. My leg, your legs stick out the boat. Where your legs stick out? Are we are being cooked? Are you fall off? Where you fall off? We just got the cross-sectional area. This is the area of the triangle. Which part you fall off? All right, you might need to slow it down and watch it yourself and follow. Maybe you fall off with the fast working through the algebra part. H by h is h squared, h by 4 is 4h, h squared plus 4h over 2. I am 100% certain if I was using just numbers and this was 20 and this was 30 and we multiplied that, it would have been stuck with me, but the letters probably slowing us down. So then we divide everything by 10 to get rid of that 10 now. And we end up with 32 is equal to h squared plus 4h. And then when we bring across the 32, it turned negative. And that was the answer there. That was the answer. That's how we end up here. That's all of this. And now we have to go further on into the question to calculate the height of the wooden prism. So what I'm saying is you need to start off with that quadratic, the h squared plus 4h minus 32. And I think we already do that, eh? Because we are somewhere along, yeah, we already, look, we are here. Inside, so h squared, well, this is the quadratic, a factorizing a quadratic. You can use your calculator to do this as well. And you'll get h into h plus 8, h plus 8 here. What is missing? Definitely a negative 4 is equal to 0. So h minus 4 into h plus 8. Any one of you all still don't know how to factorize a quadratic yet? Exam is Monday. I told you all since the algebra session to make sure you stay up for hours and learn how to factorize a quadratic. So either h minus 4 is equal to 0, h is equal to 4, or h plus 8 is equal to 0, so h is equal to negative 8. This is invalid. Why did I write invalid next to this? Factorizing a quadratic is a fundamental principle. It's the middle of the ground for CXC. You must know how to factorize a quadratic. It's the most watched video on my channel. So go and make sure you learn how to factorize a quadratic. Please, today is like your last chance. Learn how to factorize the quadratic. Please. So why is this invalid though? Well, this is the height. You ever see the height of a block being negative? You ever see the construction and pull out and you see what is the length of that? Negative 8. Never. Heights and lengths and dimensions and things of real objects cannot be negative. So it has to be this positive one. So it's 4. It's 4, what is the unit? Centimeters. So this is 4 centimeters. H is 4 centimeters. The woodwork then bores a hole of diameter 3 centimeters through the prism. The woodworker, I think in woodpecker, woodworm or some kind of thing. The cross section of the prism is shown below. Oh, I tell you, so you're going to go into this kind of question. This is what style of question you're going to go into here. This is eventually what's happening here, right? You see now? This is a big shape minus small shape. A big and small shape, right? So we found volume of the triangular prism is 320. They gave us that actually. What you're going to have to do is get the volume of this cylinder and subtract. Oh, first you have to get the cross-sectional area. Okay, they're doing it different. They're doing it different. You have to get the cross-sectional area of the triangle with the hole. So you get the area of the triangle and you minus the area of this. The reason I'm talking about this one is we do this one already. We do something like this already. So I don't want to waste time on to go into the next thing. So you're going to minus the area of the circle from the area of the triangle. It'll be in terms of h, but we know what h is. And find the new volume of the prism. There's two ways to do that. You can find the volume of the cylinder and minus it from the volume of the entire prism, or since you found the area of this, you can just multiply it by the length and it will also give you the volume. All right, next topic. What's the next topic, D-boy? Woo! All you need a next break, or we could just jump straight into this. Are you ready for this? So we're doing inequalities and plotting graphs tomorrow in the late session. For those of y'all who just come in, let me just, here's how we can take the break. I can just tell you what's the plan for the next few days. So tomorrow, we starting late. I'm going to put the live for 9:30 and hopefully I reach on time. I have something to attend to between 6:30 to like about 8:30. So 9:30 p.m. is the live tomorrow. And we want to get all of question 8 done, maybe even question 9 circle geometry done tomorrow. So it might be our next double session tomorrow again. Look out for that. Then, like tomorrow, like Tuesday, Friday is Super Friday. Because Friday, we just going and do real thing. And by we, I mean me. So we're going to start add maths like maybe 4:30 so. Then we're going to hit them maths a little earlier from like 6:30 so. Then we're going to hit them, what are you going to hit them? Bio was the plan. So that might start like around 8-ish. And then late, we're going to hit them some POB from like 10 till. So that really Super Friday. So after I finish a live, I stop, I load up a next live. I load up a next live, I load up a next live. So obviously, I was in bio, I teach biology in a long time, and I never teach POB because I never do POB. So I'll be calling these teachers from the student hub to see if they could help me out here. That can make my life much easier. And obviously, I need to get one of the POB teachers from the student hub to jump in on this live. Did I put 10 there? I want to put 9. And then Saturday, well, we didn't plan for Saturday yet. I can let you know what's going on Saturday soon. So in these sessions, I will try to pull out key topics. I could probably take we still in the break here. Let me just take a little vote. What topic you want to do in add maths? What topic are you feeling in add maths? Talk fast. I need to jump into the next topic for maths tonight. What topic are you feeling in add maths? Obviously, maths we continue in this series. Bio, what topic are you feeling for bio? Add maths matrices. There are no matrices in add maths. Lord help them, Lord. Kinematics. All right, let me pull out some kinematics. Kinematics, vectors. I see kinematics personally. People say matrices, yes. What is add maths? If you don't know what is add maths, don't worry yourself. Don't attend that session. Add maths is not the same as the maths happening on Monday. Bio, all you want in bio. So they say kinematics or logs or maybe probability, stats and probability. What you want in bio? Talk fast, bio. We need to start the next topic. And while you want in POB, well, I don't know POB, so I got let the teacher pick that one. Teacher will pick. Genetics, everybody's always asked the genetics in bio, boy. Circulation. I think we have some stuff on genetics. So let me go through it. Reproduction. Circulation. Everybody's always asked the genetics. Why everybody's always asked for genetics, boy? Osmoregulation, kinematics, circulation, ecology, genetics. All right, so we can pick genetics. We'll come through genetics. We might do 2 topics, genetics and something else. All right, that is Super Friday. Look out for Super Friday. Let me jump into the next set of questions. So there's a way to do this. Most likely you'll get shape 1, shape 2, shape 3, or figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, and you have to complete the next figure. Complete the figure. So you see the pattern here. You done. This is what come for Jan. Yeah, boy, they will come for Jan. So they're always drawing the shape 3 these days and making you finish off strong. So I hope you know that you had to draw the thing exact. Don't come and draw triangles and they draw circles. Let's do some real wildness in the people exam. Yeah? This one, which I need a peak, like Blue Mountain Peak. Then you get a different. All right, boom. All you pretend them is the best circles you ever seen in your life. I mean, this is easy, right? If you're getting this wrong at this stage, right? Most people just get this correct. Most students just get this correct. This draw the 4 shape thing. The only reason they lose marks is because they be careless and like maybe not shade the circles that they're supposed to shade or try to do too much now. So what's going on in this? Let's see if you can figure out this question. What is the first row that I tell you to always figure out? Again, no marks what I do up there. I would have drawn it properly in the exam. I just draw to show. That's the first row to always figure out. That intro. So if you see that intro, jump down that row through it one time. So you see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Can you see that you put n there? You all understand what these nth things mean? Yes or no? These nth things make sense to you? You understand patterns? Let me go and let me break it down. Let me break it down. Lock in. Come back in there. Come back in the huddle. We are on the fire. We are on the fireside here and we learning together. We learning how to come out the cave and hunt reindeer and thing. So let me say this is the pattern. N1, 2, 3, 4. This is just the number of patterns, right? This is just the item in we reach. This is the first pattern, the second pattern, the third pattern. That's what the N. Cool? Right? So let me use that N. And let's say the first pattern, I'm just making up something. Let's say this is dots. In the first pattern, I saw 5 dots. In the second pattern, I saw 8 dots. In the third pattern, I saw 11 dots. How much dots do you think I'm going to see in the fourth pattern? Come on now. You would have noticed that it's going up by a consistent amount. So therefore, it makes sense that they continue that same pattern and you end up with 14. What about the fifth dot? 17. What about the 30th dot? Well, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And you go until you feel you reach 30. But who have time for all of that? Not me, not you. So there's something called the nth dot, meaning any number of dots. The n here being a variable standing for any number. And how do we figure out what to write here? Well, I'm about to teach you something that I taught my class, and I'm about to give you it for free. The big secret here. Chris from Adapt messaging me earlier. Let me just go and see what Chris messaging me they say. Oh my gosh. You know, Chris is teach POA. He hear about it too. He know about it. Good. And he telling me some more news day. Oh yeah. That news he telling me, I can't tell it right now. Oh, wait till you update tomorrow. But anyhow, POA students, woo! Anyhow, so N, how do you find the N term? How do you find the N term? No, you can't concentrate. How to say this way? So the news is, I can tell already just what happened for those who just come in. In a certain school, the invigilators made a mistake and gave the students the paper 2 POA exams instead of the paper 1. And they took it back after some time, but obviously the students saw what's coming. Right? Long story short, POA information on the outside. The students remember some things. All right, so how do we find the end term? Well, here's what you do. Class, listen to this. I'm about to tell you what to do in the exam on Monday if this come. And 99% chance something like this is going to come. You see how it's going up by 3? Just put 3 in front of the N one time because it's 3 times something. So, and then you're going to find something class-wise called the thing that you're going to find here. We're going to find that little piece. What is called that little piece there? And how do you find that piece? It's called that piece the what? Here's how you find it. You multiply this by 3. You multiply that by 3. And 1 by 3, you get 3. 2 by 3, you get 6. 3 by 3. Yeah, Alicia, you know the thing. Alicia, you ready for them, girl? Let's call it the balancer. Well done, Selena. All the people from our class. Let's call it the balancer. So 3 by 3 is 9. 4 by 3 is, you see what happening there? This, you can do this in your mind. You see how much it's short by in every number? 3 and what will give you 5? So in other words, this is 3n plus 2. What we just found, I want you all to understand the importance of this. We just found a formula that you could use to find out the number of dots. So if I told you we are the 5th figure, you know, you had to add 3, it could be 17. But instead, you could use the formula and say it's 3 times 5, because you're on the 5th figure now, plus 2. That making sense to you? So it's 15 plus 2 is 17. So now, instead of having to add up all them 3's to reach to whatever 30 would be, I could say the 30th figure is going to be 3n plus 2, but replace the n with 30 plus 2, you get 90 plus 2, you get 92. And all of a sudden, I figure out that one. That's how you do this question. That's how you do this question. Making sense? Let's try it again. One. This is figure 1, and then figure 2. Yes, now. Who messaging the student hub and asking them if they could get in the class for free? Which one are they doing that? Cut that out. Somebody just messaged the student hub and asked if they could get it for free. And they're telling the people them Kerwin say they could get it for free. So yeah, I tried to make up something. Sorry for being so distracted. That news had me kind of frazzled too. So 1, 6, 11. This is 16. What's the end figure here? What's the end figure there? What's the end figure? Let's work it out. It's not 5. It's not 5. We're going up by 5, yes. Wait, you're real bad in this world. You're lock in. Nobody get it yet. Not even Josh. All right, chips. Chips look like he gave them something. Donica Neil, all right, thing. All right, what going on there, boy? It take kind of long day, boy. It's a little scary. So it going up by 5. That's the first thing. So you're going up by 5, right? Plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. So you know you're going to put 5 in front of the end. That's what I told you. Cool. But you can't leave it just so. Because if I say 1 by 5 is 5, 2 by 5 is 10, 3 by 5 is 15. So you have to always figure out what will balance it back, the balancer, to make it come down to these numbers. And it will always be the same number throughout. Turn out if I minus 4 from this, I'll get 1. Minus 4 from this, I get 6. Making sense? It making more sense to y'all? Yeah, in area now talking about that leak. But I'm now talking about this. So it's 5n plus 4. Y'all understand? Let's try our next one. I'm basically teaching you all the questions here. Let's say the number of dots or whatever it is that 1, -3, 2, I want to say, boy, 1, 3, 5, 6. What would 6 be? And then what would n be? So the first one you always need to work out is the n term. So go ahead and tell me the n here now. How much it going up by? It's going up by, well, this is 6, so don't include this one because it didn't continue in the same flow there. It's going up by 4. So we know it's going to be 4n here. But you can't just stop and leave it just so you always need to double check. 4 by 1 is 4, so it's obviously not that. 4 by 2 is 8. 4 by 3 is 12. How do I go from 12 to 5? Minus 6. Minus 7. Minus 7. Minus 7. So all of them I need to minus 7 to get the actual number. So it's 4n minus 7. It's as simple as that. Do you understand how to do these questions? No, that's the main key in solving these questions. The main key in solving those questions is that. So the fact that I'm seeing this matching 1, 2, 3, I know that this will also be n. And if you see the same number throughout, like 1, 1, 1, then this will be 1. This one is 2, 2, 2. So then they just want us to put one number there, or was something left out? Was something left out? Anyhow, this will be 2 by n. Tell me if you agree. Because this number always the same as whatever that number is. So it will be the same as n in this case. And this number is always 2. And this is always going to be 1. And then they want us to simplify n plus 1 by 2n plus 1. Oh, no, they don't. This is what's happening on this side. Listen, everybody. 1 plus 1 squared, 2 plus 1 squared, 3 plus 1 squared. So this is n plus 1 squared. January was real easy, boy. And then you have 3n squared plus 5n plus 2. They actually write out that for you. This one is not hard. We'll do a better one after. This one just too easy. 144. And you need to go backwards to get this. Well, that part we could talk about. How do you go backwards if you have 144? To solve the other parts in this question, that could be a little ticklish. Equate. Remember this word. Equate the formula, and even the ending piece of these questions. Equate the formula. So n plus 1 squared is the formula down here and equate it to the 144. How do I get rid of the squared? Square root both sides. So n plus 1 will end up being the square root of 144, which we all know is 12. And some number plus 1 is 12. What is the number? 11. So it means this is 11. And since I know this is 11, can I just get the number right there? I can write it out in a long way and write the number. Can you see that? I can say this is going to be 11 plus 1 by 2 by 11 plus 1. 11 plus 1 is 12. 2 by 11 is 22. Plus 1 is 23. 23 by 12 is how much? I don't know my 23 times tables. 276. Yes. How do I get this one? Simple. I would put the 4 plus 1 to be squared. 25. And what is happening here? This one is a little complicated. So I need to put the 4 into this. You all agree? To see my way. Because this is not going up by a constant. This is doing all kind of dramatics. So my only hope is to take this 4 and put it in the formula there. So I'm going to take the 4 and have 3 by 4 squared plus 5 by 4 plus 2. So the only reason that this one was harder is that it was unorthodox. But in terms of the maths involved, I don't think it was bad at all. 5 by 4. I want to show you all a more classic that has come, a more classic one. So the answer is 70. And you need to show the working, of course. Oh, this part, I think this part, I'll skip all this part for now. It wasn't this question. I think this question, they did it. The phrasing and thing was just all wrong. This was a problem, CXC. So I'm going to leave this question out. I'll do it online sometime and explain why there's an issue with this. So consider the first 3 figures in the sequence which are shown below. Draw figure 4 of the sequence. What? The more we to draw the 4th figure of that. That going to take half the exam to draw that. My wickedness. So if CXC bring this, they'll give you at least the 3rd figure and you will just need to add on the rest, right? Let's go to the table. Right. So this is what I want to show you. Yeah, I did this. I may have done this one last year or year before. What I want to show you all is how you get the end here again. So you all try it first. Try and get the end. Try and get the end. Yeah, by Prashant, by try and get the end. How do we get the end here? It's just 4n. Oh my gosh, this one too easy. You're just going up by 4. So you put 4n. And when you multiply by 4, you realize it actually just match up. This one was too easy. I didn't even watch it, just. Too easy. Too easy. All right. What do you put here then? Is this one going up by a constant? No. So you need to identify another pattern. What pattern is this? That 4, 9, 16 pattern. What is that? From the time you see 4, 9, 16, who are you thinking of there? Like these square number patterns. But this is actually 4 squared. This is actually 3 squared. And this one is 2 squared. But I have 1 here. So I can't say n squared. What I need to see? N plus 1 squared. That making sense to everybody? You all understand that? This number is always this number plus 1 squared. Plus 1 squared. 2 plus 1 is 3 squared is 9. 3 plus 1 squared is 16. You seen it? So if I need to get the nth term of a situation like this, I can't put n squared. I have to put n plus 1 squared. And this number is always just the n squared plus n squared. Ooh. So this part of the question was nice. They actually give a they leave a nice little spot for you here. And to simplify this, you can't just put equal something there, because this will have to expand out and simplify. So let me just show you. You have n plus 1 squared plus n squared. N plus 1 squared, I show you how to quickly mash up this yesterday. So you will end up with 2n squared plus 2n plus 1. So n plus 1 squared will expand to give me this. N by n is n squared. 2n by 1 is 2n. 1 squared is 1. N squared just come back down. N squared and another n squared gives me the 2n squared, and the 2n plus 1 just comes back down here. So that's what it simplifies to do. So yes, I would advise simplifying this question and writing it in here, equal to, and then write the simplified version. Now, how do you get the missing piece? Because you always want to get this line first. You always want to get the nth row first. How do you get the other pieces? You equate 4 by n is equal to 108, which means n is equal to 108 divided by 4, reciprocate, inverse. 4 goes into 125 times, 4 will go into 108, 25 plus 2, 27 times 27. So this is 27. And then if I put 27 into 2, 27 is n. So if I put the 27 into 2n squared plus 2n plus 1, that was what it was. What do you get? Replace the n with 27 there and tell me what you get. 2 by 27 to be squared plus 2 by 27 plus 1. Ooh, you get a really big number. 1513. 1513. Number feels a little off. You all got that? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. 1513. 1513. Yeah, everybody getting that. And then, well, this one is 481. This one is a little ticklish. So let's look at this number here. I'm going to equate it. Oh, no. I could use, which was the best number to use? The best number to use is this one. So I could equate that 225 to the n squared part. You see it, everybody? I'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, for this part, the n squared must be equal to 225. And I know what the square root of 225 is, like 15. So if I bring across this square, like this, it will end up square root of 225, and I get 15. And all of a sudden, I figure out what n is. Once I figure out what n is, I can figure out this part easy. 15 times 4, 60, 60. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 plus 1 to be squared, 25, plus 4 squared is 16. 25 and 16 is something that you could just work out there. And we're cooking with Ramco gas. Actually, this question was pretty tough. It started off looking easy with that 4n, but this part here was ticklish. Let's go on. Uncle Kerwin, Aliyah, what is up? So is it true that it get leaked? Somebody record piece of my YouTube video and it's sharing around now. Hey, it's an easy out here in this age. Good thing I behave myself out here in these YouTube streets. Completely missing rows in the table below. What you want? All you want to do one more? Or you want to wrap up? After our real messages start 10 to, because of this leak talk. Wrap up. So here's what I'll do. I'll wrap up because there are too much messages I'd attend to. Who knows if CXC themselves messaging me all now. So here's what you'll do. I want it to go longer tonight, but we make 2015, which is pretty long. Investigation. I want you to search that series and sequences. So you can search Kerwin Springer and this topic. And I want all you to do some preparation and completing the square. So search Kerwin Springer on YouTube and this topic. Completing this square. We can handle the rest of things when the rest of things reach. Love and blessings is still early in the night. It's still early in the night. Get your practice in. Till we meet again. Let me go and see what's going on with this POA bacchanal here.